Hello, I'm James Mason. I've got a secret.
I've Got a Secret, presented by Winston, America's best-selling, best-tasting filter cigarette. Yes, Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should. Now, Winston Filter Cigarettes bring you America's #1 panel show, I've Got a Secret, starring Garry Moore.
Thank you. That's very kind of you, and we're very, very happy to see you again after what seems like a very long absence, although it has only really been a week. We're going to try to make tonight one's a very good one for you, and I think it will be, too. Therefore, welcome to another edition of I've Got a Secret, and traditionally, I would like to have you meet first our panel. To begin with, there is Mr. Bill Cullen, and then, sad to say, an empty chair, representing Miss Faye Emerson, who is currently on vacation and who will return home soon, we hope. Next to the empty chair, Mr. Henry Morgan, and then Jayne Meadows. That's our panel. And while Faye Emerson is vacationing in Europe, we are delighted to have tonight as our guest panelist this year's only 3 weeks elected Miss America, Miss Marian McKnight. Marian, may I call you Marian?
Yes, please do.
We are very happy to have you with us tonight. Indeed, we are.
Thank you very much.
America has a bright future. All right. Now, that is our panel. Now, before we meet our first contestant, there is just one more piece of... What? What happened? Is everybody laughing?
Nothing.
Henry, behave yourself.
I'm just feeling uglier than ever.
It's easy tonight. It's easy. There is one very important piece of business I do want to take care of right now, if you'll forgive me for half a moment. Happy birthday to you.
How did you...
Happy birthday, Henry Morgan. Happy birthday to you. Let's do the traditional now. With all your might and main, blow.
Oh, I don't get my wish.
Well, you get 90% of it. That's enough in these days, you know. May I?
Thank you.
Jane, I don't know of anybody to whom it gives me more pleasure to wish a happy birthday. You deserve it among all people that I know.
Thank you, Garry.
I will just start this piece, not because it's my birthday, but just to make it easier for you.
That piece is for you, isn't it?
Well, no, I'm not hungry. I'm just going to take the piece that says Happy Birthday, Jane. So, there are plates here. Will you pass them down to Marian?
You have to fill them first.
No,
You know,
I'm going to let Jane do that.
I'm
You all
gonna
just go
tell
ahead
you-
and do that while we're playing the first...
I'm going to tell you something, Garry. You may not believe, but I think this is the first birthday cake I've ever had in my life. It's true.
Well,
because,
how come?
well, as, my birthday being in September, when I was a little girl, it was always at the time when I just went back to school. And so we had a very busy household and 4 children, and there just never was a birthday party. This is the first I've ever had in my life.
Well, I'm glad that you did it. Will you, sir, pass on down
I would
to
love
the game?
to. Thank you so much.
Right home.
Jane, I've got to tell you something.
What, dear?
This is your birthday.
Yes?
You don't look it.
Oh.
All right, Jane, you just go ahead and serve, and we'll go ahead and play the game. All right? Now, may we have our first contestant, please? Will you come in, sir? Jane, you're missing something.
Wow.
She didn't miss a thing.
I'll give him this whole piece.
Will you tell the panel, please, what your name is and where you're from?
My name is Jack Walsh, and I'm from Trenton, New Jersey.
Jack Walsh from Trenton, New Jersey. All right, Mr. Walsh, if you'll whisper your secret to me, at the same time, we'll show it to the folks at home. To help classify Mr. Walsh's secret, I will tell you it concerns something he is going to do. And, Henry, we might as well start with you, I suppose.
Might as well. I mean, the way things are going. Let's see. We had a strong man on one time. He lifted up the panel, so you're not going to do that.
No.
Wasn't a question. Just talking. Are you a strong man, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, now I think of it, the one we had on is going to be in the Olympics, the coming Olympics, so that ain't you.
That's Paul Anderson.
Yeah, Paul Anderson, yeah. I've been thinking about Jayne's birthday and Miss America and stuff, so I may be a little vague. Was this something he's going to do?
Something he is going to do tonight.
Yeah, I'm
Jane's
sorry,
present.
sir, to talk across you, you know, as though you weren't here, but something going to do tonight, obviously.
Yes.
Are you going to do something that is a feat of strength?
Yes.
That's
All right, $20 down, and happy birthday, Meadows. What is your question?
Are you going to lift all of us after we've eaten this cake? Is that your secret? Mr.
not
Walsh,
exactly.
are you going to lift something heavy? Is that part of your secret?
Oh, yes, yes.
Is it the amount of pounds we should go after that you're going to lift?
No, not exactly. I don't believe so.
I think first I would go for the object that he is going to lift, and then for the poundage.
Are you going to lift human beings?
No.
Are you...
$40 down and $40 to go, and we skip to the end of the panel and Bill Cullen.
Don't talk with your mouth full.
Not with your mouth full.
What's the question?
Not with your mouth full.
He is going to lift something which is not human.
I know a lot of people who do that across the threshold on their wedding day. Are you going back upstairs?
Careful.
No, I didn't mention any names. You're going to lift something that isn't human. Is that something that's not human which you're going to lift on this panel?
No, not exactly.
You could have worn your trousers, you know. This is a birthday party, you know.
He's a flip. $60 down and $20 to go, and we go to Marian McKnight. And panel, will you all bend your minds with Marian's, she being a first-timer here?
May I hold your cake there?
Give her back her
May
cake.
I hold your hand?
May I hold the other?
Be of good cheer.
We're with you, Marian.
This thing that you're going to lift, is it on the stage?
Yes.
It is? In full view?
No, not now.
Good line so far, Marian.
No, you're doing very well.
Very well. We're for
Yeah.
you.
You keep doing this, we're going to
Am
let go
I
of your hand.
familiar with this object?
I hope not.
Well, let's say the object
Is it a man?
the object that he is going to lift, Marian, is an object that you are familiar with, but probably not this particular one.
Is it an animal?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Very good, Marian. $60 down and $20 to go, and we go to Henry Morgan.
Well,
Henry, never mind. Her questions are over, Henry.
Pardon?
Her questions are over.
Oh, no, she's helping me now.
Oh, I see.
You said it was on stage.
What? What's the matter?
What?
Oh, have we lost the game already?
Who are you helping?
I was so busy going around here twice. I'm awfully sorry. We have already lost, haven't we, to Jack? Jack, I was about to do you. I was wondering why I didn't have any more money. We have here your money and your Winston cigarettes, which we will give you later. Your secret is what?
I'm going to lift a 2,600-pound elephant.
Open the travelers, please.
Phil, you should have known that.
Open the travelers, and by golly, there she is. Yep. How do you do? Very nice to see you. This animal weighs 2,600 pounds. We are very indebted to Hunt Brothers Circus, who has made it possible for this young lady, whose name is Sita, to be with us tonight. I would like you to meet her trainer, too, Captain Roy Bush. This is Captain Bush. Now then, Jack, how do you go about lifting this? Careful. Jack, how do you go about lifting this?
Well, Gary, we put her up on the platform, which weighs 325 pounds.
The platform weighs 325 pounds. We put the elephant on the platform.
And then the trainer, who weighs 200 pounds, gets up first and then leads the elephant up onto the platform. Consequently, I get underneath and push.
All right, fine. Well, now let's go. No. This is a friendly program, but there are limits to everything. Now, let's get up on the platform, if you will. Now, here goes Sita. S-I-T-A is her name, and Captain Roy Bush with her. Sita is a very tractable animal. As you can see, I'll try to get out of your way. She gets up there with the greatest of joy. Now, then, this platform is suspended on 4 reinforced oil barrels. Now, obviously, this entire load weighing 3,000 pounds, Jack Walsh is not going to run up and down the aisles with it. The idea is to get all 4 corners off of the oil drums at one time. So, Jack, if you want to get under and have a go at it, we're for you, boy. Now, Jack is redistributing the weight of the elephant so that the weight will be more or less even. And he braces himself on this box. Now, just the front ends go up. He's got to move further back to get his... see, the elephant is on the back side of the platform. Wow. All 4... No, not quite, Jack. You've got to get a little further back because the elephant is on the back side of the platform. There are all 4 corners are off.
America's largest supermarket down there in Miami, Shells.
Good. Well, all you folks who want to go see an elephant lifted again, go on down to Shells in Miami. Thank you very much for being with us, Jack. Well, oh, say, Jack, old friend, before you leave, how about a carton of Winston Cigarettes for you, the money that you have won, and one of our new I've Got a Secret games, which should be in every home. All right.
Thank you.
You got that? Jack Walsh. Oh, I just happened to think of something. This being a political year, we want to take no chances on hurting anybody's feelings. Will you excuse me for half a moment, please? I'll be right back. There we go. Come on, baby. I had hoped to stay astride her, but she apparently had different ideas. Let's put our best foot forward, old girl. Around this way. That's fine. We just didn't want to have anybody mad at us, you know. So now that we have been impartial enough to give equal time to both parties, I wonder if I could take time now, equal time, for my Winston Cigarettes. A sneaky way to get into a commercial, huh? My friends, I say to you, no matter what political party you may belong to, Winston is the people's choice. Winston, a cigarette who is the favorite son from that great state of North Carolina. A cigarette who, in less than 2 years on the market, became America's best-selling filter cigarette. And a cigarette who is now one of the top-selling cigarettes among all brands. A cigarette concerning which people say, and I say, Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. Oh, that turned out like a charm. I had no idea he was going to do that. And I'll tell you this, while I'm not running for anything except possibly for survival, I will make you one campaign promise in my drive for Winston Cigarettes. If you will just buy one package of these fine cigarettes and give them a try, I'm sure that you will find that they are your answer. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. Now, panel, I'm going to ask you all, please, to take your blindfolds, which are in front of you, go out to the familiar soundproof room, and we will call you back when you are needed. So, Henry and Bill and Jane and Marian, if you will depart, we'll thank you. Now it is time to meet our special guest for tonight, and a very special human being he is, too, both from a talent and from a personal standpoint. Let's give a very large welcome to Mr. James Mason. One wanting to preserve as much time for the game as possible, Mr. Mason, I would like to ask you what it is that you have in mind for our panel tonight.
Well, my secret will take the form of an old party game, if that's all right with you.
Fine.
It's a game we used to play as kids. They ask questions, and my answer depends on the last letter of their question. If their question ends in a vowel, A-E-I-O-U, remember?
Yes, I do.
I answer no. If it ends in a consonant, that's to say any letter other than A-E-I-O-U, I answer yes. Okay?
And that is the game.
That's the game. Yes.
Simple as that. So in other words, if the question that they ask ends in a consonant, in a vowel, A-E-I-O-U, Mr. Mason will say no. If it ends in a consonant, he will then say yes. What about the disputable letter of Y?
That's a consonant. Well, what is... Well,
I'll tell you what, why don't we answer... Y is sometimes also construed
Yes
as being
and
a
no.
vowel.
Partly.
Let's say partly.
Partly. Okay.
All right, fine. So will the panel come back, please? While the panel is coming back, I want to tell you that in one of the magazines this week, I read an article about your incredible daughter, who must be just a real charmer.
well, she's a charmer, all right.
Good.
She showed up to some good purpose on Steve Allen's show a couple of months ago. you remember?
I am jealous. I'm sorry we didn't get an
I'm
opportunity
very
to meet her on our
anxious to
show.
see what the subconscious minds of our friends here will imagine when we give them these answers.
All right, now, friends, remember... well, I can't say any more. Here comes the panel. Bill, Marian, Henry, and Jayne.
No, Jane. No.
All right. Now then, panel, we will tell you that this concerns something that Mr. Mason is doing, and we will start with, where do we leave off? We left off with Marian, we'll start with Henry.
Start well with Henry.
Oh! The game, you remember.
This is something Mr. Mason is doing. Is Mr. Mason still next to you, Gary?
I should say
Partly.
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 Partly. Mr. Mason, are you employing any device?
No.
No.
Is this anything even remotely connected with your career as an actor or your profession?
Yes.
Your profession, yes.
Are you employing makeup or a disguise of some kind?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Is it related to any of the characters that you have played in the last few years?
Yes.
Is it related to anything Shakespearean?
Shakespearean.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, $20 down and $60 to go, and we go to Jayne Meadows.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, it was Julius Caesar, was it?
Was it?
Was it? Yes.
Yes, yes.
I'm such a fan of Mr. Mason's, I wouldn't want to make a mistake. You are applying...
You are
Beg your
what?
pardon?
What was that laugh? You are applying makeup, and you are only partly next to Gary while you're applying this makeup.
Yes.
Yes.
That's very difficult. Are you seated or standing? Would that help me guess the secret?
Is the question would that help me? Would that
Mr.
help
Mason...
me?
Yes. Would it help me to know...
No, Jane, no.
Would it help at all to get why only part of you is next to Gary?
Partly.
Partly.
Well, then, would it be... I should go after the part of the body that's next to Gary, is that right?
Is that right? Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Is the part of the body from the waist down?
Yes.
You're not applying makeup with your feet, are you?
No.
You're not applying makeup to Gary, is that right?
Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. You're not applying makeup to Gary. Am I really right in any of these things that I've asked? Or are you steering us off?
Yes.
Play around with that for a while. $20 down and $60 to go, and we go to Bill Cullen.
The questions and the answers don't seem to belong to the same program here. Are you holding a 2,600 elephant under one arm, Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Oh, here we go again. Is your secret something like every time that a person passing outside steps on a piece of chewing gum that we have cleverly planted out there, you say yes? I mean, something like that?
Yes.
Would it be possible to ask a question in a way that I might get a no, Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Good. If I were to ask you if this were Sunday, would you say no?
No.
If you asked if this were Sunday, we'd say partly.
Which part
Oh,
of
yeah,
Sunday
that's
is
what you
this?
would,
Because,
yeah.
gee whiz. This is...
All right, we have $40 down and $40 to go, and I kind of feel sorry for Marian because she has really stumbled into a quagmire here. Marian,
I thought I'd had it rough up until now.
what did you think you had it?
She thought you had it rough.
Well, you're right, you have.
And you are applying makeup under the table, did you say?
Now, Marian, I think I better explain to you that this is a special kind of skullduggery in which this program gets involved every now and then. And you can't trust Mr. Mason's answers at all. He is answering yes or no in direct response to a certain way in which you folks ask the questions. It is now up to you to find out...
Well, is it some word that we say that produces a yes answer? I mean, some word like here?
No.
All right, we have $60 down and $20 to go, and we go on to Henry.
I thought you started with me.
We did. Well, I was going to go around again for a total... Well, we haven't got time to go around again, have we? We were having so much fun here, I didn't want to stop us. I thought we'd go around 2 or 3 times.
Oh,
but
Matt.
let's take your blindfolds off. Let me say to begin with that the blindfolds had nothing whatsoever to do with the secret. It was only done to confuse you. Mr. Mason, would you tell them your secret, please?
Yeah, well, it's a very simple secret. You know the vowels, Jane, A-E-I-O-U?
Yes.
Well, if your question ended in a vowel, I was to answer no. If it ended in a consonant, I answered yes. Answer...
We would never have guessed it.
But what was interesting to us, Henry, was the fact that this whole story that you all made up about, you know, him putting on makeup and being partly away from you was not our fiction, it was yours. You made it up with your questions as you went along.
And we
Well, do you have time for me to put in a plug?
Not right now.
Oh, it's for Mr. Mason.
Oh, please do.
Well, I heard a recording he made on a local station one night when I was listening to the radio, and I went out and bought the record, and I used to think he was a great actor, and now I think he's the sensation of the universe. It's a thing, you won't even remember this, it's going to shock you. It's called The Bishop Orders His Tomb, which he reads on an LP record. It's the most wonderful thing you've ever heard. This man.
Yeah, that's nice. I never thought that anybody bought this record. I'm glad that somebody did.
Mr. Mason, James, it's awful nice to have you with us. Here is your carton of Winston Cigarettes, the money which you won.
How about those white balls?
Looks brand new, honey.
Well, what do I get for it?
You get a Winston.
You mean tastes good like a cigarette should?
Thought you never remembered slogans.
That's not a slogan, that's a fact.
Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should. This fact has made Winston the top-selling filter cigarette today and the most popular new brand in all tobacco history. You see, Winston brings you real tobacco flavor, rich and full. No wonder so many men and women are getting together on Winston. The exclusive Winston filter works so effectively that the flavor comes right through to you. King-size Winstons are easy drawing and smooth smoking. There's no effort to puff. Switch to Winston and enjoy filter smoking. Winston is the filter cigarette America enjoys most of all because Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should.
Wednesdays enjoy the United States Steel Hour on the CBS television network.
The Democratic National Committee presents another visit with the man from Libertyville. Here at the end of this lane, on a farm about 4 miles from Libertyville, lives Adlai E. Stevenson of Illinois. This is Governor Stevenson's living room, considerably cluttered up right now. A film crew has arrived to take pictures for television.
Scene 4, 5, and 6. Take 1, track 43.
Now, here's the governor.
Yes, and I wish you could see what else is in this room. Beside the camera, there are lights over here, There are cables all over the floor, and even some of my friends standing around here. But you know, it's amazing how many things there are in television that you don't see. But I confess I rather like it. It's wonderful how sitting right here in my own library, thanks to television, I can talk to millions of people that I couldn't reach any other way. But I'm not going to let this spoil me. I'm not going to stop traveling in this campaign. I can talk to you, yes, but I can't listen to you. I can't hear about your problems, about your hopes and your fears. To do that, I've got to go out and see you in person. And that's what I've been doing. For the past several years, I've traveled all over this country, hundreds of thousands of miles. I've been in every state, many of them more than once. And I've met thousands of you, and millions of you have seen me. And out in the great Northwest, out here in Oregon and Washington and Idaho and Montana and all this great, beautiful, wonderful western region, I've seen our magnificent natural resources, these priceless possessions that we have cherished so long, which the Eisenhower administration has been giving away. And the school problem is not a regional problem. All over the United States, from coast to coast, from Canada to Mexico, where I have traveled, I have talked to people like you, parents, about their children, about the crisis in our schools. And I've talked with small businessmen all over the country who get smaller and smaller and poorer, while big business gets bigger and bigger. And I've heard many people worry about the greatest anxiety of all in this age of the hydrogen bomb, about the state of our defenses, about the national security, about America's influence in the world under a Republican administration that puts dollars ahead of national security. Yes, and I've seen the hurt in people's eyes, children and older people too, who because of the color of their skin are treated somehow differently from their fellows in this land of equality and of freedom. All of this and much more I have experienced, I have seen and heard and felt as I've traveled across this broad land of ours back and forth by train and plane and bus. And so easy as it is to appear before you on television, I shall continue to travel and to listen throughout this campaign as well as talk. And if you should elect me your president next November, I shall be the better for having done it, I'm sure, because I know that the strength and the wisdom that I need must be drawn from you, the people. So finally, I hope that the next time we meet, it will be person to person and face to face.
Cast your vote on November 6th for the new America, for Adlai Stevenson for president and Estes Kefauver for vice president. Vote Democratic, the party for you, not just the few.
This has been a film presentation of the Democratic National Committee on behalf of Adlai E. Stevenson.
Are you watching, you little rascals?
Oh, it's fun, isn't it?
And who subscribes to it? Go on, push the button.
Think of the fun you could have on the tube. The tube?
You.
Tube.
TV tubes. That's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It's going to be a lot more fun if you keep going the way you're going.
Go on, push the button. Please subscribe.
I hope they're watching.